touch the light, the heat I see in your eyes, in your eyes, in your eyes, in your eyes.
So that was a year ago.
I know.
Looking at a year ago, and how here we are at year 27.
Yep. I think what I was at first very reluctant about, all the things I fought early on and that challenged me with this situation. Yes, I'm grateful that you had faith in me, because I didn't. I really didn't think that I could do this for a while. But one thing happens when you contemplate love and a relationship, and this has almost more occurred to me recently. But if this is a helpful hint for anybody who's looking at their own relationship and wondering where they're at or where it's going, I kind of did my RCA dog head tilt when I started to think about looking at the things that hadn't changed rather than the things that had changed. Because it's really easy to get caught up with kind of doing an inventory. Well, this isn't the same anymore and that isn't the same anymore. But it's really interesting to do what is the same. And I was even surprised when I was doing that little inventory for myself and for us, how much I came up with things that really hadn't changed. And when I saw that, and when they were also the things that were the most important, I think, for any relationship, the things that had changed just became more in the background or surface level, but they weren't as important. I mean, it used to bug me actually when people would talk about love all the time, because it's kind of like, it's almost like a bailout, like, okay, love, and it's like the answer to everything, and it's as if everybody's supposed to understand what that means.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I never bought that anybody who was talking about love understood love as deeply as we did. I mean, that's maybe arrogant, mm-hmm. but it is the depth of which I felt nothing like I felt with you. I still feel life force entering me when we kiss. I still can pass out by just watching you smile. It literally takes my breath away.
Oh, good. I'll try to do that more.
So when people talk about love, I'm like, yeah, well, you talked about love like it was this superficial, Sex in the City crap. Our love got us. No, the other people out there. Our love gets us through great times, amazing. It makes great times amazing, and it makes tough times not so tough.
Well, and it took me a long time to understand what love really is, and this is something that I've been talking about with my niece quite a bit. I think a lot of us feel that love always has to feel like you feel when you're in infatuation. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't. I mean, I think, but I think there's always ups and downs. And one of the biggest dangers in a relationship, not in love, but in a relationship, is just sometimes you can get so caught up in the day-to-day, and why didn't you do your dishes, and it's your turn to take out the garbage, that it drains the sense of closeness and passion and fun often out of life. And then people think they've grown apart and they might find another relationship because of it. But if you can stay in touch with what you fell in love with, and that kind of takes me back to the what doesn't change. You know, the things I loved about you when we first met haven't changed because it wasn't about appearance,
right,
or anything. So,
which I'm just now learning.
You know, yeah.
I thought I had game.
Well, so I mean, I think we can kind of start to wrap this up, but I would hopefully leave people with that thought that if you can take the time to tap into what attracted you in the first place and feed that, relive that. You know, you don't have to go to Caribbean for your anniversary. You can just go into another room of your house, but at a different time of day, or do something special, or go for a walk, or I'm starting to sound like the end of the movie Scrooged all of a sudden. Thank you, Bill Murray. But anyway, I would just really encourage that. And that was something you always kept alive. So that's where I'm grateful to you. You never let anything get in the way. And I also feel, for me, just one last thing, that part of this was also a lesson I felt like I got from my own parents. But for as many years as they were married, my dad would come through the door at the end of the day and do a completely movie dip kiss of my mother. That was the first thing he did when he got home from work, all the time. They focused on romance and keeping the love alive, even though there were 4 children and God knows how many animals, including goats, sometimes in the house. You know, it just...
Big surprise there, right?
It was a priority. A priority. And it has always been that way with you, with me, and it's been a great reminder, and it's kept me... When you feel loved, it's much easier to be able to give love.
Well, so let that be a lesson. Huh? Well, I always feel like we celebrate us in everything that we do. We buy, you know, we've made all of our friends sometimes sick to their stomach, but I don't care, because it's I don't do that so that they know what we're doing. I do that because I want to just celebrate
Us. Yeah.
So happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. See you next week. Thanks for coming. Anything to say goodbye?
Anything? Yeah, we have a new puppy. We'll show you her.
Yeah, we got a lot of other business. We'll take care of next week. And go get your tickets for the
come see
the show.
Stage Street.
We sold out in 3 days, so we had to add a second showing.
Yeah, go on Facebook, Staged Lit, reserve a ticket, come play.
Come play.
Free of charge.
Yeah, oh, it's free too, by the way.
I just said that.
I guess that's what free of charge means. Bye.
Let's leave on a good note.
Okay, which one? C flat?
There is no C flat.
Mm-hmm.